Hello, everyone, and welcome to Workshop Wednesday. My name is Ty, and I'm very happy that you could join us today. If you're joining us today during the live stream, or if you're joining us on another day watching the recording, we are very happy to have you here. Today, we are going to look at drawing some architecture and buildings and houses and things like that, which is quite fun. This is an example that I worked up in my sketchbook a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to be working off that. Supplies, pretty simple, same as usual. Whatever you like to draw with, pens, pencils, markers, colored pencils, anything like that, and then some good old paper to work on. Sometimes I work in just a simple sketchbook. Sometimes I use regular printer paper, and other times, today I'm going to be working on some heavier watercolor paper. I like to use some of the heavier stuff sometimes so that I can add color with paint later on if I want to. All right, so working from this here, I'm going to keep that nearby. I'm going to start with pencil, and then I'm going to move on to some of these markers, and then maybe add some color a little bit later. I've got some colored pencils handy as well. I'm going to begin with the very sort of shapes. So here I've got a big giant rectangle here, 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 and I've got kind of some stacks of squares and rectangles, some triangles here and there. So I'm going to begin that way. Sheet here with a nice big tall rectangle, kind of like this. I'll draw that with lightly with the marker so that you can see it nicely. And right now for this first little bit, I'm just going to be drawing a couple of shapes, mostly rectangles and squares. They can be kind of wobbly. You can put some triangles off to the side. I am going to leave a little bit of space maybe between some of these buildings or some of these shapes, so that way I can leave some space for alleyways and things like that. You can draw some shapes inside other shapes. Okay, so we've just got some really basic, really simple kind of thing to start from. You can draw kind of a street along here if you want. There. All right, I'm going to start from the middle one here and kind of work my way outside, getting a little bit more and more detailed as we go. So I haven't had a plan. I'm kind of just winging it right now. So I think this one I'm going to make it into a storefront and maybe some apartments sitting on top. So to get that, I'll put here, and I've got sort of a door, my windows, and I'll separate again, put some more windows up here. Again, very simple to start, not a lot of details yet. I'm going to put another one over here. So this is kind of helping me get the sizing of these buildings that I want. It's kind of like that. Make sure my doors are all relatively the same size. All right, now that I've got this, I can go back the middle one here, and I can add a little bit more detail. So I'm going to kind of keep going across, like from the middle and then out, and then coming back and adding another layer of detail. So this is going to be an awning, so maybe I'll add some details, some line work on the awning, maybe one of these for that classic look. Maybe I'll put a little step down here for the door. Big window. Okay, maybe I'll put some windowsills. I'm not worrying too much about my line work. The more kind of little thingies you have here and there, sometimes that can add a nice illustrative effect. Okay, maybe there's blinds. And when I draw the blinds in, I'm going to have them sort of at different heights. These people want their windows more closed. These ones want them more a little higher. And I'll put something at the top here maybe. Okay, I'm going to come back to this one and add a little more detail or a little more sort of things. But I'm going to pause on this one and move over to another one. So this one, maybe I would like, I'll try doing the roof that I did here. So to get that, I had a triangle on one side here. And the peak of the triangle goes a bit higher than this part. And then that goes straight across. I've got maybe a bit of a chimney coming out there. And then I draw the lines coming back down just to give it a little more volume. And a small, tiny window in there. There. Okay, maybe I'll put another window in here. Get some windowsills in there. Maybe I'll do kind of a window with a curved, like a semicircle top on this one. Kind of mix it up a little bit. And then let's head back over to this one. Maybe I'll put a balcony up here with a window and a railing. So each of my buildings, they're all a little from each other. Maybe I want something else on top of here, so I can just pop another shape on top of there. And I'm going a little bit quick. You can see my lines aren't exactly meeting up all over the place. That is okay. I just want to get the general gist and idea of things down first. And then once I have this, now I can come back in and I can start to add a third layer of detail. So I can make even smaller details. I can use a smaller pen if I want to. So let's see, I can start adding maybe the little pull strings. I can add a, the type of shop. Maybe it's a bread shop, so I'll put a picture of a loaf of bread on there. And then these sections here and there that are not quite meeting up, I can go over again with my pen a little bit slower this time, and I can kind of clean some of that up. If you want to, if you want that kind of more messy look, that's fine too. then perhaps I'll add some brick shapes. I'm just going to add a few of them here and there. Now I'm not going to, for this one, I'm not going to fill in the entire building with brick shapes. I'm just going to do a little bit. Okay, then I'll move over to this one, add a few more details. Okay, I want the roof to be a bit darker. Some more line work up here. Right. And simply by adding a second line to things, like a second line or a border around this window, it gives it extra definition. So I can add another line there or here. And just by adding a few extra lines like that here and there, I'm making my building look far more detailed just by adding those simple little lines in there. I'm going to leave some nice sort of white space and areas so it doesn't look too crowded. But I'm going to throw a little bit of that in here and there. Just add a bit of spice and stuff. All right, so once I've got a little more detail in my buildings, what I might do now is I'm going to start adding in other things. So maybe I'll take my awning, it'll go a little bit wider than the building. Maybe I'll add in a trash bin. You know, things you might see if you were going through a stroll. An electrical box here and there. Maybe a bird's nest or something like that. Let's see. Maybe another, you know, a couple little boxes or something, or maybe on this building there's a side entrance, so I'll put a little awning there and a little set of steps like that. Maybe there's a window on the side here that kind of pokes out a little bit with some flowers on the windowsill. Okay, and now we go from just having just a plain straight line to a really interesting contour, like on the side of our building here. You know, put like another sort of electrical box on the top, or maybe, you know, there's a rooftop access, there's a door up there or something like that. All right, and then kind of near the end, I'm going to think about maybe starting to add some hydro lines, something like that. Maybe I'm going to pick some spots and fully color them in, like maybe these windowsills get fully colored in. And then this one here. And that kind of connects us to the roof here, right? Got a nice solid color roof, and then these nice solid colors here. And every once in a while, every so often, I've got, you know, a big chunk here, 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 and it kind of like puts the thing together a little bit or acts as little focal points. Oh, right, I was going to add hydro lines. So let's draw. These are pretty simple, just kind of a pole sticking straight up, a couple of cross beams like this. And then we got starting here and going to there, we've got a nice droopy line. Another one in there. That can go off the page. And then this one, maybe I'll put it over here. And if I want that to go behind the building, I'm going to draw it in pencil first. And then just draw the parts like that. Then I can grab my eraser. I can go through, erase those remaining lines. I've pretty much covered up all my pencil lines already, which is nice. You can also add some clothes hangers or some clotheslines between the buildings if you want, that kind of thing. And there we go. We went from some really, really simple, just shapes, rectangles, squares, triangles, just kind of stacking them just like this. And step by step, we got a nice, really, really fun, detailed city street architecture. You can add some color in there if you want. We'll throw a little bit of color in there, something like that. So have some fun with that, folks. Hope you enjoy for our stream, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. Again, my name is Tyler, and I'm very glad that you could join us. Rested Wednesday.